Esteemed human rights defenders, ladies and gentlemen, it is with profound honor and gratitude that I welcome you to this gathering today. É com profunda honra e gratidão que dou as boas-vindas a todos vós a esta importante cimeira. Este chavula xikulu ni ku khensa ngopfu ziyamukela n'wina enhlengeletanini leyo hlawuleka. That is my language, Changana. Comrades, today we unite and I share the commitment to justice, equality, and safeguarding human dignity. We come together not only to discuss challenges, but to celebrate the tireless dedication, courage, and resilience of human rights defenders across Southern Africa, a region brimming with great potential, yet tested by profound challenges. Human rights defenders are the unwavering vanguards of democracy and freedom. They amplify the voices of the marginalized, protect the rights of the oppressed, and often are at the greatest personal cost. They embody the ideals of justice and dignity. Among them, women human rights defenders shine as extraordinary pillars of strength, facing threats unique to their gender while continuing to fight for the marginalized and the vulnerable. This year, 2024, it has been a stark reminder of the courage required to stand on the front lines of justice. Human rights defenders have faced relentless threats, sacrifices, and repression. Yet, their unyielding dedication to equality and freedom continues to inspire us all. Acharadis have endured harassment, defamation, and physical threats aimed at silencing their advocacy. Yet, they persevere, echoing Nelson Mandela's timeless words when he said, and I quote, "Courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it." Their resolve reminds us that the pursuit of justice must always outweigh the forces of oppression. Many defenders have been imprisoned, injured, or even lost their lives in the fight for equality and dignity. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." And Acharadis dream of a world where justice is not just a privilege, but a universal reality. And they pay the price of daring to make it possible. Across our region, civic space continues to shrink as governments suppress dissent and silence civil society. Martin Luther King Jr. warning resonates more than ever when he says, and I quote, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." When civic spaces are stifled, we lose the foundations of democracy, and the aspirations of millions are extinguished. This year's elections across our region and continent reveal both the fragility and potential of democratic systems in our SADC region. They showcase the sharp contrast between countries where electoral processes strengthen democracies and where they undermine it. In some nations, elections stood as a beacon of hope exemplifying the principles of transparency, accountability, and citizen empowerment. For instance, in Botswana, next door, and in the beautiful island of Mauritius, they provided models of good governance, where the peaceful transfer of power reflected the will of the people and reaffirmed the integrity of democratic institutions. However, other elections exposed systemic failures and deliberate manipulation, threatening the democratic aspirations of millions. In Mozambique, my country, allegations of voter suppression, ballot tampering, and biased electoral commission and constitutional council shattered the public trust in the electoral process. These systemic flaws were accompanied by a brutal wave of state-sponsored violence, leaving 65 innocent lives lost, injuring thousands, with thousands arbitrarily detained. Peaceful protesters and human rights defenders bore the brunt of this repression in my country, and their calls for justice is met with tear gas, live ammunitions, and arbitrary detentions, as I've said. Such divergent examples underscore the urgent need for reforms and regional solidarity to protect the integrity of the ballot. They demonstrate that while elections can be a tool for empowerment, they can also serve as instruments of oppression when manipulated. As Barack Obama wisely observed, and I quote here, "The arc of the moral universe may bend towards justice, but it doesn't bend on its own. It is up to us to ensure that elections across Southern Africa reflect true will of the people, fostering trust, inclusion, and hope for a democratic future, not only in countries, region, but globally." As Honorable Archbishop Desmond Tutu reminded us, if you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppression. Neutrality is no longer an option in the face of rising repression and inequality. We must act, and act decisively, to protect and empower those who stand courageously on the front lines. To protect the civic spaces, ensuring freedoms of expression, association, and peaceful assembly, as civic space is the lifeblood of democracy, and its protection is not only essential, but urgent. Support for human rights defenders, provide legal, financial, and psychosocial support to HRDs, recognizing their sacrifices as the cornerstones of societal progress. Demand accountability. Hold the governments and institutions accountable for their actions, ensuring justice for HRDs and the communities they serve. Empower future leaders. If you have read the concept note of this gathering, it is nicely framed in ways that it puts young women and men in the front as the leaders of today and of tomorrow. So engage young people in democracies, echoing the young and charismatic Malala Yousafzai's call when she said, and I quote here, "We cannot all succeed when half of us are held back." So we cannot hold anyone back. And the United Nations says, leave no one, leave no one, leave no one, leave no one, leave no one. My friends, comrades, brothers and sisters, human rights defenders are the guardians of our collective humanity. Their sacrifices remind us that the struggle for dignity and equality is unending, but also that the rewards, which is justice, freedom, and peace, are worth every battle, everywhere, every moment in time. As Mahatma Gandhi wisely said, you may have not know what results come of your actions, but if you do nothing, there will be no results. The lessons of 2024 calls on action. Together we must ensure that the future is one where justice, freedom, and human rights prevail, where every voice is heard and every right is protected. Today, we honor the defenders who inspire us to be better, to do better. Let this gathering be a forum of reflection, of dialogue, and resolve. Let it remind us of our collective responsibility and power to create change collectively. As African proverb wisely says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, let's go together. That's why here in the Southern Defenders we say, together we, and we defend true. We defend true. So let us, this moment calls for us to journey together, guided by unity, guided by purpose, and a shared commitment to justice and human dignity. Thank you, and let us stand united in purpose and action. Asante sana, ziko kwandire, nziyabonga kankulu, helebonga.